So, did someone forget to tell the Miami Heat that the game started? It seems like the Heat were left out in the cold as the Boston Celtics stormed out of the gate, leaving a trail of icy breath and points in their wake. The Celtics' dynamic duo, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, were doing more dunking than a donut at a police station, proving once again why they're a force to be reckoned with on the court. Now, I'm not saying the Miami Heat were lost, but if this was a game of hide and seek, they'd be the last ones found. They were struggling to find their offensive rhythm, like a salsa dancer with two left feet. It's like they were playing a different sport out there. Maybe beach volleyball? Looks like Miami was more interested in sunbathing than basketball in the first half. It seems the Celtics decided to build a wall, and Miami was definitely not getting over it. Now, let's talk about that wall. Picture this. A fortress, impenetrable, intimidating, the stuff of medieval legends. That was the Celtics' defense in this game. They were like a pack of wild green-clad wolves hounding the Heat relentlessly. You could see the frustration on the Miami players' faces trying to find a way through this Boston blockade. It was as if the Celtics had taken up residence in their opponents' heads, setting up camp and starting a bonfire. It's one thing to play defense, it's another to do it with such vigor and tenacity that you become a mental barrier as well. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were more than just offensive powerhouses in this game. They were defensive stalwarts. They were like those bouncers you see outside swanky clubs, turning away anyone who didn't meet their strict criteria. And let's just say, the Heat were not on the guest list. And it wasn't just these two. The entire Celtics squad played a part in this defensive masterclass. They moved as a unit, a cohesive green machine that was all gears and no brakes. It was like watching a choreographed dance, except instead of pirouettes and leaps, there were blocks and steals. The Heat, on the other hand, struggled to find any rhythm against this defensive onslaught. Their shots were falling short, their passes intercepted, their drives to the basket halted. It was as if they were playing against a wall, a big green Boston wall. And that, my friends, is how you play defense in the NBA. You don't just stop your opponents, you get in their heads, you frustrate them, you make them second guess every move they make. The Celtics were playing defense like they were protecting their last slice of pizza. The Celtics were leading this game like they had a GPS set to victory lane. From the opening whistle, they were in the driver's seat, foot firmly on the gas pedal, and didn't let up for a single second. With Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown at the wheel, the Celtics navigated the court like seasoned road trippers, each pass, rebound, and shot a mile marker on their journey to triumph. Meanwhile, the Heat seemed lost, like they'd left their map at home. They tried to keep up, but the Celtics were always a step ahead, a blur in the green and white zooming past them. There was no traffic jam in the Celtics lane, no detour, no speed bump, just a clear path to victory. The Celtics' performance wasn't just a win, it was a masterclass in control and consistency. They set the pace, dictated the flow, and left no room for a Heat comeback. It was as if they were on cruise control, smoothly sailing towards their destination, while the Heat huffed and puffed in their rearview mirror. Their dominance was so pronounced it was almost comical. You could almost imagine the Celtics players sipping on iced tea and casually flicking the ball into the hoop, all while the Heat players ran around in circles, huffing and puffing, desperately trying to keep up. The Celtics were cruising so comfortably, they might as well have been in a recliner. So, after all that, what do we have? A Celtics win, a sunburned Heat, and a bunch of very confused Miami fans. The Celtics, like a well-oiled machine, rolled past the Heat, notching a decisive victory, 104-84. They showcased a strong defensive performance, keeping Miami's offense as cool as ice cream on a winter's day. The Celtics led wire to wire, maintaining control throughout the game like a seasoned conductor of an orchestra. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the dynamic duo, were the driving force behind this victory, proving yet again that Boston is a force to be reckoned with. On the other side, the Heat seemed as lost as a tourist without a map, struggling to find their offensive rhythm. The Miami fans, once as hot as their team's name, were left scratching their heads in bewilderment, their cheers fading into the Miami night. And as for the Celtics, they've taken a 2-1 lead in this Eastern Conference first-round playoff series, their eyes set on the bigger prize. After all, winners focus on winning. The Heat could use some ice for that burn. Until next time, folks, keep your game strong and your humor stronger. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and see you next time.